Hello everyone, this is going to be kind of a PSA video on how to hold a proper compound, defense, and assault, simply because I've been seeing a lot of SLs and a lot of players doing this incorrectly and it's driving me freaking insane. So this is going to be a really short video on how to hold a compound effectively. So we're going to be using the police station on Sumari as our example, which is right here marked by the X. So typically, once you get in the compound, there's always going to be someone in the compound first. So let's assume it's your team that gets into the compound first. And you've cleared the compound, and let's say you're the US, which spawns from this side, and you're getting attacked from all over here. Correct? Now, the number one thing you need to do after you clear the inside of the compound is lock down these long avenues of attack. Because if you try to hold it within the compound, you have to watch the frickin' ladder over here, you have to watch the main door here, you have to watch this door here, and then you can get fragged, and players usually know where you are inside the compound already, simply because there's limited spots where you can watch those angles. But if you watch these long avenues, you can basically just sit anywhere you need to and just stop players from even getting close to the compound. Now, the reason why it's important to have a layered defense, so not only have people both inside the compound and outside watching the long avenues, is because it kills momentum and it stops enemies from fragging you. For example, if we even set up another layer and you have people setting up a buffer even further, that means that the enemy players coming from this direction, and this direction get dropped without getting into frag range, and you don't die from frags. Whereas if everyone's held up within this tiny mini square, they're just gonna surround it and frag you out until you're done. And then if this layer gets pushed off, then you have this layer to keep them from getting inside, and then you have the inner layer to stop them from actually breaching the entry points. This outer layer right here, though, is not being utilized at all. This whole outer layer. And you need to start putting buffers up, because you can catch a lot of enemy players who are trying to assault just completely zoned out because they think that the contact area is directly inside the cap point. So start layering your defenses to stop the frags from coming in. Start using the long avenues to cut off enemies that are breaching. And then have a couple people on the inside as the last line of defense to kind of cover the entry points. That's if you're going full on defense. Okay. Now let's say you're on the other side of this, right? You're on the attacking side of a point. It's extremely important that you clear a general area in regards to the cap. Now the reason for this is that they could have fobs set up, in this compound, down here, sometimes in rooftops. Sometimes it's a really aggressive fob up here. But basically, when you're attacking, the number one thing you need to be looking at is where can we starve them out? Because the issue with just attacking, if we just ignored all of these, if we just ignored all those fob marks and just cleared the area and just started pushing into this area right here, the concern is that as you're pushing in from these two angles, they're just flooding guys back in, and it becomes a stalemate, and you're just losing tickets as they're defending a point, which doesn't work for the attackers. You lose that fight. If you're attacking and you're not capping it, you're losing that fight. So it's extremely important to knock out the enemy, to clear the area, the general area, find the fobs that are flooding it, and then starve them off. Kill that fob, and then after you kill the fob, you can push in. And once again, as you get closer and closer to these fob, to the cap point, use these long avenues of approach to keep enemies from reinforcing. So as soon as you get set up and you're watching on the attacking team those entry points and keeping the enemies from reinforcing, you can slowly, one by one, start fragging or, peeking and taking out the contacts within. It's very important that you understand this as a squad leader, because this is crucial. You know, AAS revolves around taking compounds and holding them. So this is a concept that I think you really need to know, is how to properly clear a point and then set up a proper layer of defense. Or when you're attacking it, to clear that layer of defense, look for the fob or whatever spawn point they're using to reinforce, and then slowly and methodically push in and take those 1-to-1 trades, because you'll win them because you're starving them out. If that makes any sense. It's kind of like a siege in medieval times. You kill off their supply line, which would be their FOB or their rally points, and then you just slowly, one by one, pick at these guys while you're fragging them from a distance, or you're making 1v1 trades and your medic picks you up. But extremely important that on both the attacking and defending sides, you do not get bottlenecked and completely just tunnel visioned within this little box. You need to clear. You need to have an awareness of what the fuck is going on around you, because if you don't, that's an easy way to mess up your attack or completely fail at your defense. So this is going to be a little PSA video. I hope you like it, and I hope this taught you something. Try to spread this, because this needs to get fixed, because right now all I'm seeing in public matches is just both teams just slugging it out on the inside, and it just turns into this. You just see all these little dots, from your team, and then like when I finally get in there and I see how many bodies are on the ground, it's just crazy. So just don't do this. I hope you learned something. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one. Oh shit, yep, now I see him. Awkward.